On behalf of the entire Grow with Google team, I'd like to thank everyone for attending, including a special shout out to our partners hosting virtual viewing parties. We hope that you get a lot out of today's session. Let's start by talking about some logistics. At the top of the screen, you'll see two links, Watch and Resources. You can go back and forth. Clicking on Watch gets you here to this presentation. Clicking Resources takes you to a separate page where you can download supplementary materials, including a handout that has links to the products that we're talking about today, a handout that has tips from our national partners, and an optional follow-along guide. The guide will give you a closer look at some of the screenshots in today's presentation. As we go through the presentation, look at the bottom left-hand corner of the slides. If you see a green callout, that will give you a page number that corresponds to the follow-along guide. If you'd like to turn on closed captioning, click the button labeled CC on the video player on your screen. And if you have questions, you can type them in under the video player. Our team is standing by ready to answer your questions directly in that same Q&A section. After the presentation, my colleague Basim will join and he'll answer some of your most frequently asked questions. You'll be able to access a replay of this workshop by clicking On Demand on the Grow with Google On Air website. Finally, if you're watching now and you want to share on social media, please use the hashtags #GrowWithGoogle and Support Small Business. In today's workshop, I'll explain why it's critically important for retailers to sell online. But of course, potential customers need to be able to find your products too. So to help with that, I'll start by talking about two Google products, Google My Business and Google Merchant Center. After that, I'll pass the presentation over to Tarek from Shopify. He'll show you the basics of setting up an e-commerce website. And then I'll close the workshop with a quick recap and more resources. And then I'll pass it over to Basim. Let's get started. Every day, hundreds of millions of people turn to Google to find, discover, and shop. And not just Google search. People are looking when they browse Google News feeds, watch YouTube videos, or check Gmail. More than ever, it's important that customers can see your products when they're online. And even if they want to shop in store, people are researching online before making a purchase decision. This past holiday season, shoppers in the United States searched online before 88% of in-store purchases. 58% of holiday purchases happened online compared to 42% in store. In 2019, retail had its largest holiday season ever, with global digital revenue reaching $723 billion. In 2020, 74% of US shoppers say that they plan to do even more online shopping. The data show that shopping starts earlier and ends later. 86% of people who shopped after Christmas week used search to continue their holiday-related shopping. Retailers need to be online because showing those products there drives sales. 58% of global purchases were prompted by something that the shopper saw online. And people want to know before they go. 46% of shoppers confirm inventory online before visiting a store. Okay, that was a lot of stats. The takeaway from all of that is that you need to get your products online, even if you sell them offline. Did you know that the average online shopping journey has over 140 touch points that influence what people buy and who they buy it from? This slide shows some places on Google where those customer interactions can happen for US-based customers. This includes Google Search and Images, a business profile on Google, the Shopping tab, shopping ads, plus experimental places like Google Lens. So how do you do it? How can you get your products to appear on Google? Let's start with your business profile on Google using a tool called Google My Business. For anyone who isn't familiar with Google My Business, here's a quick overview. Google My Business is a tool that lets you create a free business profile on Google. A business profile helps your business stand out on Google in search and maps. Google My Business is an option for businesses that make in-person contact with customers, either at a physical store or in a specified service area. On this slide, you see the business profile for a retailer called the Spice House. It includes details about their Chicago store, such as address, phone number, description, and more. This slide also highlights a detail that appears in their business profile, products. In this example, the featured product is the Essential Spices collection. You can see a product photo, a name, and a price range. If you click on the product, it will reveal even more details. Once you create or claim your business profile on Google, you can add products too. I'll show you how in the next few slides. Before you can use many of Google's products and services, including Google My Business, you need to be signed into a Google account. A Google account is free. If you have a Gmail address or if your business uses G Suite, it's automatically a Google account. If you get email another way, you can register your existing email address as a Google account at google.com/accounts. If you already created a business profile, be sure to use that same email address to sign into Google My Business. For today's workshop, I am assuming that you are signed into Google and that you've already created and verified your business profile. If you haven't done that yet, visit google.com/business to get started. If you're attending a virtual live stream viewing party and you need some help, you can ask the hosting partner to give you a hand. Now, everyone access Google My Business on your computer by signing into google.com/business. The dashboard is pictured on this slide. In the left navigation, you're looking for the link labeled products. If you click on that, it will take you to the product editor. Now you're going to follow a few steps. You'll upload a product photo, you'll enter the product name, you'll create or choose a category, and then you have the option to add more info like a price or a price range, a description, and a button that can link to a product details page on your website. Then click Save. You should allow a few minutes for newly added products to show up online. But in the meantime, you can preview how it looks on Google by clicking the link that says See it on Google. You can click on a product to make changes or to delete it at any time. This is what that same product looks like when you click on it from the business profile on Google. You can see all of the product information, including a button with the call to action, Learn More. Clicking this button sends you to the product page on the Spice House's website. There's no charge to add these products, and clicks on the products are free too. And that's how you add products to your business profile on Google. But what about all those other places on Google where products can surface? That leads to our next topic, Google Merchant Center. Retailers use Merchant Center to make store and product information available to shoppers across Google. Google Merchant Center is free, and you do not need to advertise to add your products either. However, if you do want to advertise on Google and show shopping ads, you need to first set up a Merchant Center account. More on that in just a bit. So what is Merchant Center? Google Merchant Center is a free tool that helps you upload store and product data to Google and make shopping ads, and other Google services. You will add your products in one place, the Merchant Center. Then these products are eligible to appear in multiple places across Google. Let's take a look at a few places where you might see them. First, products and extra product information can show up in Google's organic search results. Take a look at the results on this slide. They appear below the images at the top. Those are shopping ads, which I'll talk about later. Google's organic results typically include some basic information like a title, a description, and a link, but some results show more. This extra information is called a rich snippet, and it can really help products stand out. On this slide, you see that the Spice House's ground fenugreek seeds in the results are jazzed up with extra information like a star rating. That's called a review snippet. And you'll also see product details like the price and the availability of the seeds. Pretty cool, right? By the way, if you want a closer look at that screenshot, go to page 2 of the follow along guide. So how can you help Google add that extra information to your products when they appear in Google search results? First things first, you should talk to your website developer about adding structured data markup to your website. In a nutshell, structured data is a labeling system that you add to your web pages. The labels help Google and other web platforms automatically understand your website and pull information like product data from the HTML. In this example, one attribute from Merchant Center, the product's availability, is displayed for free in the organic search results. In other words, you can see that the ground fenugreek seeds are in stock. A bonus here, if you have structured data on your website, it can be used to automatically update the products in Merchant Center too. So we could spend the rest of the workshop talking about the technical details. We won't. But if you want to work on improving how your products can appear in the organic results, you should set up Merchant Center and talk to your web developer about adding structured data to your website. Next, products from Merchant Center can appear for free in the shopping tab for US searches. To access it, you can search on google.com, then click shopping at the top to see the results, or you can visit shopping.google.com. In the results, you see information highlights, and clicking on the product will show more details. You can also see products in Google Images. So do a search on Google and then click Images at the top to see the products that match your search, or visit images.google.com and search from there. Now take a look at the slide at the image results. You can tell that an image is connected to a product if it has a product label. That's called a product annotation. It tells you that you can click on the product and get more information about buying it. Try it out. I recommend doing a search on the types of products that you sell so you can see what's showing up in the search results. Google Lens. How many of you out there know what it is? How many of you have tried it? I had heard of it, but it wasn't until I started developing this workshop that I tried it out myself. Using the Google app, you can use your phone's camera to search in a visual way. It's basically like doing a search with an image, not with words. This is an example of an experimental place where products may appear on Google. I tried it out using a product photo from the Spice House's website, and what do you know? Google Lens suggested similar products from the Spice House, and it links directly to their corresponding product pages. Google Lens probably won't give your products the same volume of exposure as a regular Google search, but it's an example of how Google tries to show relevant products in places where customers may be looking. If you want to try Google Lens, download the Google app from Google Play for Android devices or the App Store for iPhones. Lens is also available in the Camera app of some Android devices, and it's part of the Google Photos app too. Last but not least, Merchant Center helps retailers advertise products on Google. You've probably seen shopping ads. They are more than text. They incorporate a product photo, a title, a price, store name, and more. Shopping campaigns can be used to promote online and local inventory. Local inventory ads help nearby shoppers know what you have in stock, potentially driving more sales to your physical store. In order to run these types of ads, you need to have a Merchant Center account. Here's the basic process. You will create a Merchant Center account, you will add products, and then you'll connect your Merchant Center account to your Google Ads account. And then you can use shopping campaigns to advertise those products on Google. Here's a high-level overview of how Merchant Center works. You will start by creating a free account. Next, you will upload products, and then those products can appear across Google. Merchant Center has an online setup guide available at g.co/Merchant Center Setup. That's also linked in the workshop handout, which is available in that resources link above the video. But I'll give you a quick look at the basic setup process next. Start by visiting g.co/Merchant Center. Again, you'll need to be signed into Google. If you're already using a Google account for your business to access services like Google Ads, make sure that you sign into the same account. Next, you'll enter information about your business, including the name. That's what potential customers will see with your products when they appear on Google. the country where your headquarters is located or where your business is registered, and your time zone. That's used for reporting. Now you will tell Merchant Center about the checkout options that apply to your business. There are 3 options. Selecting on your website means that customers will see your product listing on Google and then they'll go to your website to buy it. Selecting on Google means customers see your products on Google and then buy them there without leaving. In this case, you don't even need a website. You would use a service called Buy on Google to complete the transaction. Earlier this year, Buy on Google announced some big changes that are still in pilot, so stay tuned for more information as it becomes available. And third, if you select at your local store, customers would see your product listing on Google and then be directed to visit your local store to buy it. You can change these checkout options in your account at any time. Next, you can link Merchant Center to third-party platforms. This can help simplify the setup process for your Merchant Center account. You see in the screenshot that Shopify is an option. We'll talk about how that platform integrates with Merchant Center in just a bit. You can add more tools and integrations at any time. This is what the overview page looks like inside a Merchant Center account. If you're just setting up Merchant Center, you will see prompts at the top to help you complete setup if more information is required. The left navigation includes products, which links to the area where you will add and manage your products. Performance is where you can see reports, and growth is a place where it will suggest additional ways that you can boost your visibility and your sales on Google. If you selected the checkout options for on your website or at your local store, you need to verify your website before products can appear on Google. There are 3 ways to do that. You can use Google Analytics, Tag Manager, or you can add an HTML file to your website. One bonus about using Shopify, your website will be automatically verified if it's connected to Merchant Center. Once you have Merchant Center set up, the next step is to add products. Start by clicking Products in the left navigation. This is what you will see the first time you visit that screen. You can choose to add individual products or multiple products, or a combination of both. When you add an individual product, you will enter information about it in Merchant Center. Some fields like the title, the link, and the price are required. And there are a lot of other optional fields too, including variants. For example, if you sell products with variations like size and color, you can include those variants with the individual product. Products that are added individually must be edited individually. You are able to use a combination of an individual product upload and a product feed. A feed is how you add multiple products, and let's take a quick look at that next. So a feed is a file that contains all of the information about the products you sell. The different pieces of information about your products are called attributes. To create a product feed, you'll enter some basic information like the language, and then you'll give the feed a name. This is internal, but you want to give it a descriptive name so it's easy to identify. You'll choose how you want to add products to your feed. If you are just getting started with Merchant Center, one of the easiest ways is to use Google Sheets. If you select Google Sheets, Merchant Center will give you the option to use a template or to select another spreadsheet if you happen to have a product feed handy. Let's assume that you're going to use the template because you're starting from scratch. This is what the Google Sheets template looks like before products are added. As you can see in the detail, each column asks for a product attribute. There is a link to instructions for creating your feed, as well as a link to product feed specifications. Before creating this feed, read through the instructions and the specifications to make sure that you're setting it up correctly. For example, the availability attribute accepts 3 options: in stock, out of stock, and pre-order. This sounds a bit technical, but at the end of the day, you are simply creating a spreadsheet with product information that can appear across Google. Once you complete the Merchant Center setup, your products can appear on Google in many places, including Google Search, Images, Shopping, Shopping Ads, and Google Lens. There's still another important piece that we haven't addressed: how to actually sell the products on your own website. Most small business owners use third-party e-commerce platforms to power their online stores, and there are a lot of great options out there. Today we'll introduce just one of them, Shopify. You may remember that connecting to Shopify was an option when we walked through the Merchant Center setup. One handy Shopify feature is the ability to connect to Google Merchant Center. That means that you can skip a lot of the setup work because the product in your e-commerce store can be directly connected to Google. Now I'll pass this workshop over to Tarek, who can tell you more about Shopify. Take it away, Tarek.
Thank you so much, Stacia. Hi everyone, I'm Tarek. I'm a lead in the retail group over at Shopify. So I actually lead a team of 5 who every single day work with small business owners just like you to help them leverage the Shopify platform to grow their customer base, develop better customer relationships, grow their sales, and of course, grow their business. Now today I want to get things started by first making sure that everyone's up to speed on Shopify, who we are, and why we exist. We'll then spend some time talking about how easy it is for any of you, regardless of your background or knowledge, to be able to easily and quickly get online and start selling your products with Shopify. And the last piece we'll touch on, and I think the one most people are excited for, is how to connect Shopify and Google to make sure that your products are getting found. So to really understand Shopify, you have to start with the mission. And for us, that's to make commerce better for everyone. And the really critical word there is everyone. We believe that every business owner should have the best possible tools to compete and thrive against even the largest and most sophisticated businesses in the world. So today our platform is being used by over 1 million businesses in over 175 countries. And we're only 15 years old, founded and headquartered in Canada. So it's been a remarkable growth story. And for us, our mission is at the core of every single thing that we do. And especially this year, we're really proud to be able to be there helping and assisting these business owners to not only survive the pandemic, but to pivot and adjust and make some changes to actually gain momentum and come out of it a bit stronger. So why don't we actually take a look at what this looks like? For those of you who aren't familiar, what you're seeing on screen right now is an actual Shopify website for the business Spice House. Now you may notice a few different things. The site looks great, super professional, easy to navigate. All the pages load very, very quickly. Some other important things to notice here: this site's actually going to show up on Google. And like all Shopify sites, it's designed to convert at the highest possible rate. So what that means, it generates the most conversions, the most sales per visitor to your site. So that's something you don't have to worry about. Every site at Shopify has been designed with this exact goal in mind, to generate the most possible sales. Now, for some of you, when you're looking at this, and we have a lot of conversations with retailers and business owners just like yourself, you're probably thinking, wow, I have no idea how to do this, or I likely have to pay someone, or I have a contractor who takes care of this. Or maybe you're like my parents and you're thinking, you know, my son or daughter is gonna figure this out for me. And hopefully you have that. But the thing is with Shopify, it's designed so that you don't need it. So let's take a look. If any of you here right now went to shopify.com, this is the exact page you're going to see. You can log in from anywhere at any time on any device, as long as you have that internet connection. And it's really important to point this out that it's cloud-based, it's web-based. If you open this up in the store, if you open this up at home, if you open this up on a beach in Costa Rica, you're going to see the exact same dashboard, and you're going to manage your business the exact same way. Now let's go ahead and create an account. Now in the setup, what you're going to see is some simple questions. Now Shopify is designed to be used by individuals who don't have the computer science background, as I mentioned. So during setup, it's step-by-step hand-holding in really simple terms that anyone can understand. There's no technical jargon here to make sense of. You answer simple questions, and Shopify makes sure that it sets up your store in the exact right way for you. Now, once you've worked through the setup, I think there's something like 10 questions there, maybe a few more depending on the type of business you have. The first page you're going to see is this admin dashboard. And this, to me, is really the central cockpit where you're going to do everything in your business. If you're making adjustments to your site, if you're adding new products, if you're fulfilling orders, if you're creating an email marketing campaign, it all happens right here. And there's some pretty critical things that all of you want to do, which is specify your payment, delivery, and pickup options, your tax settings, terms of service, and return policy. That's really table stakes stuff that you want to take care of. But what I want to focus on in this conversation today is likely the most important thing for all of you, which is getting your products online quickly. And when we talk about products in Shopify, these can be physical goods. They are for the most part, but you may even sell digital products like a course or a consultation, or maybe you sell services. Regardless, you can add your products here. And the great thing is when you add your products into Shopify, they're automatically going to be ready to be published and sold across all of your different channels right away. And I'll show you that for the Google channel in just a second. Now, when you are adding your products, if you're an established business, maybe you have an Excel file, a CSV with all of your products, you can upload this in bulk, or perhaps you can pick an app. There's a bunch that allow you to move your inventory over quite easily. But let's say you're adding a new product for the first time, or maybe you're Spice Route and you just sourced a brand new spice. Let's go ahead and hit Add Product. Now this page here, I hope it's not rocket science to anyone, but there's some really critical things you want to put on your products: a picture of the product, a description, the product name, the price. You may even include tags. This spice goes great in this type of curry. And if you buy this other spice, you'll likely want to get this one as well. So I can tag it, and this later can drive how I execute my marketing campaigns and how I engage with each of my customers on a one-on-one basis. So after you're done entering the product name, the picture, the description, the tags, whatever information you want to include here, of course, the price, this product is ready to be published across all the different sales channels, including the Google channel. So let's actually take a look at how you can connect the Google channel with Shopify. Now, Shopify is going to allow you to reach your customers wherever they happen to be, whether that's on your website, in store, different social networks, or marketplaces. And Shopify is going to allow you to manage all of those different channels. Now, one of the most critical ones that you want to go ahead and add is the Google channel. There's a few different reasons. First, Google is where people go to look for things online. So this is going to allow your products in your site to be found right there. The second thing is it's totally free. So it's not going to cost you anything to have your products there. And the last piece is that this is going to sync in real time with your Shopify account. So the changes you make, products, customers, or campaigns, you can make them in Google or in Shopify and know it's going to update in real time on the other side. Now, in order to set up the Google channel, you definitely need to have a Google account and email address. So if you don't have one, you can create that right inside of the Google channel. Now, there's some things you have to take care of when you are connecting Shopify and Google to make sure that it works properly. So the first, of course, make sure your Shopify store is set up online and published. The second thing is to make sure that you added payment and contact information for the business, along with your refund policy and terms of service. And lastly, make sure that you've selected the actual countries and currencies that you want to sell in. Now, once all the store requirements are met, you're going to go ahead and set up your product sync or your product feed. Now, you'll need a Merchant Center account to do this. So click on the Get Started button to create a Merchant Center account. Now, this will take you to a page where you can actually connect the Google Merchant Center within the Google channel. Now, if you don't have an account, you can create one right there. But the great news is the Google channel imports your existing product data right from Shopify into the Merchant Center. So the ground Jamaican allspice berries product that we were adding for Spice House, the Google channel will automatically have that data. You don't have to enter it twice or worry about any mistakes. And once you link the Merchant Center, nothing is quite syncing until you select your target market and country that you'll sell in, along with your shipping settings. And finally, the last thing you're going to want to do is connect your Google Ads account to get started with smart shopping campaigns. So these are really paid ad campaigns that show up all across the Google network. You'll be familiar with their properties: YouTube, Gmail, Google. It's basically the whole internet. And the most incredible thing is all you have to do is set up your products and set your budget. And Google is going to figure out automatically how to put your products in front of the right people at the right time in the right place. So to wrap things up, I want to leave you all with a thought because, at Shopify, and I think Google as well, we've designed these tools and platforms to be as easy as possible. So for you, you don't actually have to be good to get started. You just have to get started to be good. Back to you, Stacia.
Thanks, Tarek. Before we start the Q&A, I'd like to share just a few more resources. First, Grow My Store. Grow My Store is a free Google tool designed for retailers who sell online, in-store, or both. As long as you have a website, it can analyze and assess the website's customer experience. The report evaluates a range of factors such as product information, store details, personalization, the shopping experience, and site performance. The tool also measures how fast your website loads and its mobile friendliness, and if it uses HTTPS. You can receive a personalized report and tips on how to make improvements. You can try it out by visiting g.co/growmystore. If you want to watch a 3-minute video tutorial about using Grow My Store, visit the Grow with Google Quick Help playlist. That's available at g.co/grow/quickhelp. You'll want to watch the video titled, How Can I Improve My Retail Website? Next, another free Google tool called Local Opportunity Finder. This tool helps small business owners improve their presence on Google Search and Maps by analyzing their business profile on Google. You can try Local Opportunity Finder by visiting g.co/local opportunity. Want a video tutorial? Head back to that Grow with Google Quick Help playlist and watch the video titled, How Can I Get the Most Out of My Business Profile on Google? Again, the URL to the playlist is g.co/grow/quickhelp. If you enjoyed today's live stream, I encourage you to check out the other topics available from Grow with Google on Air. You can register for free virtual workshops, events, and one-on-one coaching sessions to help you get the most out of digital tools. Visit g.co/growonair to see the upcoming schedule and access past events on demand. I wish I had time to thank every single Grow with Google partner. We truly appreciate your work supporting small businesses in your communities. I will shout out 4 national partners who helped us create a tip sheet for today. The first tip is from the International Downtown Association, IDA. Connect with your local place management organization, such as a business improvement district or Downtown Alliance. These organizations often feature local businesses in their wide-reaching communications and initialize community-wide retail and restaurant promotions, especially around the holiday shopping season. Our second tip is from the Association of Women's Business Centers, AWBC. Repeat business is the easiest sale to make. Design customer loyalty into the e-commerce experience and make it easy for your customers to buy more and buy often. Our third tip is from the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. Shopping local doesn't have to mean shopping in person. During challenging times, let consumers show their community pride while shopping online. Check with your local Chamber of Commerce and leverage social media and other online tools to encourage e-commerce. Last but not least, America's SBDC. They have 3 tips for us today. Tip number 1, make sure your website's Secure Socket Layer SSL certificate is installed and enabled. When a website has encryption installed with an SSL certificate, the URL address will show a lock icon next to the URL address. It's very important that your website visitors know their information is securely transmitted during any transaction between them and your website. Tip number 2, Many online shoppers have become accustomed to free shipping on their online orders. If a small business wants to be competitive in the virtual shopping arena, they should consider including free shipping on orders exceeding a certain dollar amount. And tip number 3, rename photos that have abstract file names, such as 100_12345. Instead, use keyword-rich file names that describe the images. For instance, if your website sells home accessory items like wood jewelry chests, change the product photo file names to something descriptive like woodjewelrychest.jpg. This can improve the SEO value of your photos. You can access their tips by clicking resources at the top of this page and downloading the handout. On behalf of the entire Grow with Google team, thank you everyone for joining us for today's live stream. Now I'll pass things over to my colleague Basim, who will answer some of your most frequently asked questions.
Thanks, Stasia. Hey everyone, I'm Basim, one of the instructors here at Grow with Google, and I'm going to answer some of the questions you've asked throughout the session. Remember, if we don't get to your questions, we'll be going back and answering all the questions on the Grow with Google on-air page below the virtual event shortly after it concludes. Okay, all right, let's get started. First question here is from Taylor in Owensboro, and Taylor wants to know, do I need a designer or developer to use Shopify? No, you don't need to be a designer or developer to use Shopify. You can easily customize the look and feel of your store with Online Store Builder and the themes. You can also add additional features and functionality to your store using any of the 4,000 plus apps that are available in the App Store. All right, next question here is from Omar in Clifton. Omar wants to know, how much does Shopify cost? Well, Omar, you can actually try Shopify free for 14 days, no credit card required. After that trial expires, then you can choose pricing that basically suits the size and stage of your business. The plans range anywhere from $29 to $299 per month. Next question is from Yusuf in Dayton. Yusuf wants to know, how do I get started with shipping, and do I have to ship items myself? Well, no, you don't need to ship items yourself, although you can if you want to. You have the option to use third-party fulfillment services to prepare and ship your orders for you. If you want to learn more, I would check out the Help Center article on shipping fulfillment in Shopify. Next question here is from Jennifer in Portland. Jennifer wants to know, can I actually use my Google My Business to sell products online? Well, not exactly. So connecting your Google My Business would allow you to connect the products that you list online to the specific store locations. For example, if you sell toasters, you can list the toasters in free listings. If a customer clicks on the free listing, it would actually take them to your website to complete the purchase. If the toaster that is featured in that listing is available at one of your stores near that customer, they'll actually see annotations that indicate that the product is available X miles away or is in store. If they click on the listing, it still goes to your website where they can purchase online, schedule an in-store pickup, or even find additional store information. Next question here is from Logan in Winslow. And Logan wants to know, if I use Merchant Center, do I need to pay for advertising? Yes, you'll have to pay if you want to advertise your products. However, there are other options available to list your products for free or to let customers buy your products directly on Google with zero commission fees. Next question is from Chris in Arlington. And Chris wants to know, what if I don't have a website? Can I still list my products on Google? Yes, you can still list your products and let your customers buy your products directly on Google. You just have to make sure that you want your customers to check out on Google during that Merchant Center setup process. Next question is from Spencer in Springfield. Spencer wants to know, the images I added to Merchant Center aren't displaying. What's wrong? Well, there can be a number of reasons for this, Spencer. It's possible the images were recently changed. They're in an unsupported format. The URL is incorrect, like there's a space somewhere that needs to be removed. So for more information with troubleshooting that, I would go to support.google.com/merchants and then type in the search bar something like fix images that aren't displaying. And that should get you the article you're looking for, Spencer. All right, next question here is from Roderick in Jackson. He says, I have a lot of products in my store. Do I need to add them one at a time in Merchant Center? And then so you can, if you want to add your products individually if you want, but it sounds like you should set up a feed, right? So when we talk about a feed is that file that contains information about your products, and it's the easiest way to upload and manage large numbers of products. And so the onboarding guide that Stacia mentioned in the resources tab, it actually includes a section called Create a Feed. Like she said in the presentation, there are several ways that you can actually create a feed, but if you're just getting started, you might want to try to use the Sheets template included in the Merchant Center account. Next question here is from Carolyn in Portland. And Carolyn says that she has an incomplete business profile and she wants to know, can I still request a postcard? Yes, you'll still need to fill out some basic information like the business name, the contact information, and the category, but it doesn't have to be a complete profile in order to request that postcard. As you wait for that postcard to come in though, you may want to finish completing the rest of your profile so that once you actually get verified, your business profile is ready to rock and roll. All right, next question here is from Nettie in Richmond. And she wants to know, can you delete a photo or replace/update existing photo on your business profile? So if that photo was uploaded by a customer, it cannot be removed unless it directly violates Google's policies. If you like to make changes to a photo or video that you uploaded yourself, you can simply click on photos in the Google My Business dashboard and be able to make those edits right from there. Next question here is from Ben in Richardson. He wants to know, can I make business profile for my e-commerce website that does not have a physical address? So unfortunately, you're only eligible for a Google My Business profile if your business either serves customers face-to-face in a physical area or has a physical address. If you strictly do business online, which it sounds like you do, Google My Business isn't quite right for you, simply as it just integrates with Google Maps. Next question here is from Shirley in Fayetteville. And Shirley wants to know, is there a way to lock information on my business profile? I verified the business account, but a user continually striking out my business category and phone number. Since this has happened multiple times, is there anything I can do to keep my information up to date and accurate? Well, so it's important to make sure that even though you're verified, that you are actually listed as the owner of that account. Typically, information that's added by you, the owner, will be prioritized over contributions from other users. Also, make sure that your information is properly listed in other places on the web. And you also want to keep your profile up to date so that Google knows you're offering the most accurate information for your profile. If you're still having issues, you can always contact Google My Business support at support.google.com/business. All right, next question here is from Mocha in Berkeley, and she wants to know, which languages does Shopify support? So when we talk about the languages, the customer-facing parts of your Shopify store, including e-commerce websites, your blog, your checkout, and even the emails, they can be in any language if the theme supports it. So if you want to learn more about that, just explore the different themes that are available. The admin area of your Shopify store is currently available in a growing list of over 20 different languages. For more information on this, you want to see it's Shopify in multiple languages, the article under the help.shopify.com. Next question is from Madeline in Lakewood. And Madeline wants to know, can I use my own domain name with Shopify? Yes, you can use your own domain name with Shopify. If you have an existing domain name, you simply can connect it right there from your admin area in Shopify. If you don't even have one, you can always purchase one through Shopify or a third-party provider. Next question is from Warren in Chicago. And Warren wants to know, can I access free listings through Shopify's Google channel? Yes. So for eligible stores, Products synced to Google Merchant Center using Shopify's Google channel can appear in the Google Shopping tab and Google search results for free. If you already use the Google channel to sync up products to Google Merchant Center, then you can confirm that your product feed is opted into services across Google. If you opt into services across Google, then your products can appear in unpaid product listings on Google services, which includes Google Search, Google Shopping, and even Google Images. If you want more information, you can totally visit the Shopify Help Center for more info. All right, the last question here is from Marcos in Ridgefield, and he wants to know what are the benefits of connecting my Shopify products through the Google channel. Well, Marcos, as consumers are increasingly turning to e-commerce to meet their shopping needs, it's more important than ever for retailers and interested shoppers to easily find each other where so many searches begin, and that's at Google, right? So Shopify's Google channel makes it easy for merchants to get their products on Google and to reach customers that are searching for products just like theirs. So through the Google channel, merchants can not only promote their products with free listings on Google, but they can also promote their products globally with smart campaigns or shopping campaigns. All right, so that's it for the Q&A. Thank you all for joining us today for the Sell Online this holiday season with e-commerce tools. Hopefully everyone learned something new. Don't forget that you can sign up for our other upcoming live workshops and events and even watch all of our videos on demand. We'll see you next time.